Hi everyone, welcome to my new bachelorette pad in Manhattan Beach. I was divinely guided to move here, so I am exactly where the divine wants me to be. So my videos moving forward should continue to go smoothly without any issue. However, right now I do feel like a crash test dummy because I spent the last 7 days moving, so I am a little sore. But thank you for your patience in the release of this video. Sorry it took so long. In my readings, I often read for obviously people who suffer from anxiety and depression. So this is yet another subject that I'm very passionate about, and a subject that the other side has quite a bit of information to share on. A lot of times they will be concerned that your depression is circumstantial, and they will want to talk about the most important subject in their mind, which is life purpose. I have to be honest with you, I would have to say this is my specialty. With regards to readings, when I'm doing a read on your soul, the first thing I'm going to do is, what's their life purpose? And the reason is because this is so incredibly important with personal fulfillment and happiness at your core. You could have just gotten dumped, run over by a car, and be laying in the middle of your living room in the fetal position crying. It doesn't matter what kind of drama is happening to you or swirling around you. If I can plug you into the collective consciousness and get you using your God-given gifts and talents to help humanity in some way, then I just did my job. And I just boosted you up. I just boosted your mood and your self-esteem. Because if you're using your God-given gifts and talents to help other people, you're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to get kudos and hopefully respect and appreciation. And that energy you get from that cycle of helping others is going to make a really, really big difference in how you view yourself and how you treat yourself and how others treat you. So if I can get that energetic exchange to be happening for you via your life purpose, that's the other side's priority. That's going to be that's going to be the other side's priority for pulling you out of the depression. So that's what they're going to want to talk about in your reading. And another reason why they want to start by talking about your life purpose and get you out there helping humanity, even though you are lifeless and not really filled with energy to do so and really just want to turn inward and lick your wounds and retreat and withdraw from society, right? Although you want to do the opposite, the other side is going to push you to pursue your life purpose and to shine your light and to shine authentic light. Why? Because they want to bring your soulmate onto your path. So that's another thing. They're going to want to talk about relationships in your reading, because your relationships are going to be related to your life purpose and what you're doing to help humanity. I have news for you. My soulmate would not have been attracted to marketing executive Christine. I had to get out there and wave my freak flag so that my soulmate is attracted to psychic medium Christine. Your soulmate is attracted to who you are at your core. So the other side is going to make sure that you're shining authentic light so that they can bring your soulmate onto your path, because they have to make sure your soulmate likes you when they bring your soulmate forward. So guess what? If you're suffering from anxiety and depression, are you really shining your light? Are you really being that sparkly diamond? Or do I need to take out a cloth and shine you up? Your personal relationships are going to follow this. So they're going to want to talk about that, right? What if I developed my intuition after I got married? I wouldn't have married my soulmate, and I would have had some issues there, because the person that I married would be like, can you please stop embarrassing me with all this psychic business? You're really humiliating me at this party. Wouldn't have worked. Wouldn't have worked, right? So that's why they're really big on you pursuing your life purpose before relationships. Doesn't have to happen, obviously. Doesn't have to happen, but people tend to throw their romantic partners for a loop if they do a 180 on them. Not really 100% fair to them, is it? And then another thing is they're going to want to talk about your living situation, because moving often clears out energy. Where if you are divorced but still living with your husband because of money or, rent or whatever logistics, you're still working on selling your house, the fact that you haven't physically separated from each other is going to negatively affect you energetically. Among other situations, there's many situations out there where people just need fresh energy, they just need to move, whatever. Moving is a really, really big deal. Like I said, I was just divinely guided to move. And so the law of attraction is going to kick in. If you do move, you will notice a bunch of people and opportunities and new and amazing things come onto your path after you do it, because you just cleared out that energy. They're also really big on sage. So when you move into your new place, make sure you sage it and invite positive energy in. Speaking of energy, that's another thing they wanted me to bring up, was the law of attraction. You are a magnet. Your thoughts are energy and your emotions are energy. What signal are you broadcasting into the universe? If you're depressed and anxious, I got news for you. The signal that you're broadcasting sucks. And the law of attraction can be your best friend or your worst enemy. That's why I'm really big on how to make the law of attraction work to your benefit as opposed to against you, which is why I made that video called How to Make Universal Energies Work for You. So that's why it's my job to try to help you raise your vibration so that the law of attraction can kick in for you in a good way and you attract wonderful things to yourself as opposed to crap. Another thing is that in order to attract positive things onto your path, they want to align you with the truth. And your personal truths are, what's your life purpose? What's your relationship situation? What's your living situation? What's your situation with your friends? You know, what are your own personal truths? Often we don't know what they are. Often we're not really in touch with ourselves or our lives, our feelings enough to know what they are. And that's where journaling comes in. That's where the other side's going to ask you to journal, get a reading from me, whatever. Because aligning yourself with your own personal truths is going to attract things to you via the law of attraction. Universal energies respond to one thing and one thing only, the truth. That's why in my readings, it's my job to align people with their personal truths. And then the law of attraction just picks them up and they're like a phoenix rising from the ashes. The other side is also going to want to take a comprehensive approach to your depression. And they're going to want to talk about the relationship between the mind, body, and spirit and their connection. Diet, exercise, vitamins, water intake. How are you taking care of your body? That houses your soul, right? I have a friend who's a coach and he studied sports psychology. You have to believe to achieve. He talked about how your mindset can negatively affect your sports performance. He said a positive attitude equals positive performance. So optimism is going to be really, really important. Optimism puts gas in the other side's tank. Your positive thoughts, your positive imagery and what you're imagining manifests because you're a magnet. So that thought you're broadcasting is going to result in you positively performing in that sports game, right? So that's another way to use the law of attraction to your benefit is through optimism. But what are you doing when you are hopeful about the future and having an optimistic view of what's going to happen? You are participating in something called power manifestation. You are using your imagination. You can create a vision board where you cut out pictures of things you want in your life, travel, love, whatever, career, house, car. You put them on a vision board and you think about them. You fantasize about them. What would it like to be what would it be like to drive that car? What would it be like to report to that respective job? What would my boss be like? So you want to manifest. And this is where the other side does not foster the victim mentality. So you'll get empathy from your spirit guides if you're the victim of someone else's free will. If someone ran you over with their car, whatever, you will get empathy. I will hear your angels crying for you. But otherwise, they're not going to foster the victim mentality if they feel like you are fostering your own depression and anxiety. Why? Because the other side has a huge accent on personal power. Huge. This is something that they're going to encourage you to embrace. Personal power. You create your own reality. What are you doing? Can you change your circumstances? Can you align yourself with truth? Can you kill that critical inner voice? Are you emotionally responding to your own thoughts? Is your thought process negative? And are you emotionally responding to that negative thought process? Are you bringing yourself down? And then is the law of attraction coming in and bringing you down even further? Because that's how the law of attraction becomes your worst enemy. It brings you down even further. If you are depressed and having a negative view about the future and you're not hopeful, you're not excited, maybe you're not hopeful and excited about the future because you hate your job, or maybe you have no job. I know people who quit their job and went down the tubes. And I was like, geez, you were a lot better when you were back in the corporate world, you know, having lunch with your friends or whatever. It's like that need, that desire to contribute to society is very real. You know, that desire to help humanity can be very fulfilling for us, even if the job is just so-so. So I encourage you to find a way to help humanity in some way, shape, or form, whether you use your creativity or not. Because seriously, I've seen people go down the tubes who quit their job. But the thing is another thing is the other side wants you to look at your life from up above, like float up into the clouds and look down on your life and ask yourself if it's good enough. Is this life I'm leading good enough? Because if it's not, say, universe, I reject this reality, bring me something better. Cast it off and say, I reject this reality, bring me something better. And then write a list of your own personal feelings about things and your own personal truths, if you can figure out what they are, and think about the steps you can take, the actions you can take to embrace those truths, because that's what's going to lift you up to a higher level of existence. And I know, because I was there. I was chasing the dollar, and I was anxious, and I was depressed, and I was drinking alcohol every day. So put down the toxins, guys. No smoking, no drinking. That pulls you away from your higher self. I'm going to describe it like this, because my next video is probably going to be about ingesting toxins. If you're smoking and drinking and you have an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other shoulder and your head is in between, that's your free will decision-making process, right? Which way do I want to go? Towards the angel or the devil? If you're ingesting toxins, you're basically going like this to the angel. Psht, psht. Because you're compromising your connection to your higher self. Your toxins are interfering with that connection to your higher self. So that gives the dark more of an opportunity to take over your decision-making process. So please, if you're ingesting toxins, take them seriously. I'm like barely even allowed to go to the doctor anymore. I'm a huge fan of Western medicine. I love popping antibiotics and going on my merry way. Being pulled away from that towards more natural remedies. So just be very aware of what you're putting in your body. Pay closer attention to it, because you want a nice, strong connection to that inner angel, okay? Now, another thing that the other side is asking you to do, in addition to grabbing the bull by the horns and power manifestation and taking responsibility for your own happiness, there's an action required there, right? They're asking you to take action, but there's also another side to that coin, and they're asking you to also kind of surrender to the universe and surrender to the truth and pray. So if you're really scared, ask for guidance, invite spirit in, pray. And they will step up to the plate and they will help you, because faith in God really, really compels the divine to step up even more. So if you say, you know what, I'm having problems with X, Y, and Z, I'm going to throw the ball in God's court, you know, I trust him. And so let forces of nature also carry you. So it's kind of a surrender of following the current and then also doing certain action items to embrace your truth. So it's kind of like you meeting the other side halfway, if you will. You do your part and they'll do theirs. I have to be honest with you. It's like if you're on chemotherapy and you're sitting there like down in, you know, a rum and coke or something, the other side isn't going to consider that doing your part. The other side will help you with that cancer diagnosis if you're, you know, trying to pursue getting better. But if you're like downing alcohol and, you know, drugs or whatever while it's they're going to have a huge problem with that, because your body really is a temple, so they're going to ask you to respect it. So that's basically what I wanted to share. A lot of times this is kind of like, you know, what happens during readings, and so I felt compelled to create a video about it because I thought it was a very important message that needed to get out there. And in the meantime, take care and be well. Thank you.